welcome back to a new video. And today we're gonna be reviewing Barcelona's game against Sevilla. I have to say I'm extremely disappointed as we now don't depend on ourselves for winning the title of La Liga. Despite this, I think it was a very tough game. Very tough game. Of course, playing away against Sevilla, one legendary club of La Liga, is always very tough. But I don't think Setien had the right approach to the game. Initially, I don't think the midfield was appropriate. Obviously, Rakitic, aka the sack of potatoes, he's not adequate for Barcelona anymore. I don't understand how is he still playing. It's something that it doesn't get to my head. Even in a big game like this, in one of the biggest games of the season, we have to play the sack of potatoes. It truly hurts my heart, but this is the situation we're in. This is the situation Bartomeu has created for Barcelona, and at the end of the day, we have Rakitic playing, I think it was almost the entire game. In terms of the midfield, I think Arturo Vidal is, of course, he's a warrior. I like, and I hope you guys like the way he plays. Is a different kind of player for Barcelona. He's not as much of a tiki-taka player. Still, I'm unsure if last night's game was for him. As we saw, Sevilla was defending constantly. A line of 5 defending, and then 4-1 or 3-2. This was their way to defend, basically parking the bus. So what does Barcelona need? What do we need against a bus being parked in front of the goal? What do we need? Do we need Arturo Vidal? Maybe at some points. But what we need is to pass the ball quickly. We need speed. We need players that break through the lines. We need players like Ansu Fati. Where was Ansu Fati last night? Where was Ansu Fati? He scored an amazing goal against Leganés. He was one of the best players against Leganés. Against Sevilla, one of the most important games of the season, you don't play Ansu Fati? Where is Ansu Fati? We need Ansu Fati. He was the only player that I saw in that bench that could change things in that game. Also, Riqui Puig. I think Riqui Puig should have played much earlier in the game, because at the end of the day he played a couple of balls. He played a couple of balls. He made a couple of passes. He barely had any time. But in that time, I saw the ball flowing quickly. Not like Rakitic, that is passing the ball behind all the time, that doesn't have the guts to go ahead. Where in a game like last night, we had to go fast, to break the lines, to get Sevilla desperate. Yeah? Of course, if we wait and we're passing the ball constantly behind to the defenders, Sevilla has time to go back and defend and park the bus. We had Arturo Vidal, is a guy that I respect massively, but I don't think it was his game. In this case, it was Setien's fault to manage this midfield. That it was horrible midfield, except Busquets, that is a player that you can never criticize Busquets. Arturo Vidal, Rakitic, I don't think it was their game. I really dislike Rakitic. I think his time is done for Barcelona. I think he should move on. And at some points, I'm extremely desperate about this, because we're just letting La Liga go at this point. We're just letting La Liga go. Looking at the games that we have ahead, and looking at the games that Real Madrid has ahead, it's impossible not to be pessimistic about La Liga. Of course, I always believe in my team. I'm always going to believe in Barcelona. And I think we can win La Liga. I think we can win the Champions League. But man, it's hard sometimes to believe in this. Huh? It's hard to keep believing. Day after day, I watch the games. Sometimes it seems that Ernesto Valverde is still here. I'm watching the game, and I look at the bench, and Setien looks like Ernesto Valverde. Because that midfield, Rakitic, Arturo Vidal, has the signature of Ernesto Valverde on it. I think this was the key of the game here, because we didn't have enough speed in the transactions from getting the ball all the way up. We didn't have enough speed. Therefore, impossible to break Sevilla's defense, which was really good, I must say, really good. Talking about defense, now is the fourth game. Barcelona has not conceded any goals. So credit to the defense, credit to Piqué, credit to Lenglet, most underrated player, one of the most underrated players in the squad. Credit to Ter Stegen, he played a really good game. He saved that 1 point that we got from that game. Jordi Alba, of course, really well played. Semedo is not my favorite player. I think last night he played well, not exceptionally well. For me is an average to high player, but it's not. I don't think Semedo is the right fit for Barcelona. Of course, we're comparing Semedo to the space that Dani Alves left, and Dani Alves was just simply the best right back in the history of the game. So very hard to find a replacement for Dani Alves. I think Semedo, let's give him credit for the game. So the defense overall was good. And the forward positions, let's go over the forward positions. Of course, you have Messi. You're not going to doubt about Messi. But for example, I think Braithwaite, he shouldn't have been subbed so early. Wasn't his best game in attack, but I must say he defended very well. He defended very well, and he was very active during the time that he played. Of course, maybe Sevilla is a big team to play against with Braithwaite. Of course, he already had his peak of confidence, and he was committed to scoring that first goal. Now we have to see what path he's going to take. If he's going to keep on improving, or if he's going to chill and he's going to think that his mission is already accomplished. I scored my first goal with Barcelona, and then I'm going to sleep now. We'll see. Although I'm not taking the credits from Braithwaite, that he defended very well. And as I said, I don't think he should have been subbed so early. And the thing is that he got subbed for Arthur. Subbing Braithwaite for Arthur makes 0 sense. 0 sense. And that created that second half that we played. That was the most horrible second half that I've seen in a while. We weren't creating any chances. I think we had one shot on goal in the second half. I think it was Suarez. And talking about Suarez, I understand Setien wants to get his rhythm going. But the 90 minutes? Are you going to play 90 minutes, Suarez? A player that has been injured for what, like 4, 5, 6 months? What did Suarez do last night? Nothing. Absolutely nothing during the 90 minutes. Absolutely nothing. Overall, substitutions, I think they were late. Okay, they were late. The first substitution, Braithwaite for Arthur. Honestly, I didn't understand it. I don't think Arthur did anything wrong, but we needed speed. I think Ricky Puig brought that speed when he came on. Arthur is more of a possessive player, and we didn't need possession anymore here. We don't need to hold the possession. We need speed. And in my opinion, I think the game had to be broken. If we were holding the ball all the time, the game was going to be exactly as Sevilla wanted. We were just passing the ball around, waiting to hit the wall, Sevilla's wall. So it was impossible to do anything. You can pass the ball to Messi a million times. He's going to try his best. But against 10 guys, what can Messi do? Messi is the GOAT. Messi is an alien. But let's be real. 10 men defending in a couple lines is super hard to go by. So what can we do now? What can we do now? Now the game is done. 0-0. We lost 2 points. Now we don't depend on ourselves. We don't depend on ourselves. Madrid is going to be first in La Liga if we tie in points. Why? Because even that we have the general goal average in our favor, the direct games that we had with Madrid, one of them we tied and the other one we lost. Therefore in La Liga, before the general goal average goes the direct games between those teams. As we lost one of the games and the other one we tied, that makes the difference. So they will be ahead of us in case we tie in points. We'll see what happens. There's 8 or 9 games left. Therefore, situation is against us. Still believe situation is against us. Anyways, I hope you like this video. I hope you understand me, and I'm looking forward for your comments, to your opinions. And at the end of the day, we can still win everything. So except la Copa del Rey, because we're already out. But Visca el Barça, Visca Catalunya, and see you in the next video. Peace.